be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Yeah, good evening, friends. It's good to have you around again. Yeah, Mr. Jaya Williamson, I can see you. Yeah, I think we have the guest already on the show. Your Excellency said, take your excellence yourself. Guest is going to be on the show very shortly. And
yeah,
I'm so excited to be here again today. Good evening, Excellence.
Good evening. We have a good network today, right?
Yeah. It seems impressive tonight, and I pray and hope that we're going to have this for the whole of the show, for the whole session. Yeah, it's good to have you around again this night, Excellence. For the audience that are just joining, this was supposed to hold last week Saturday, but we had some challenges with the network. So, we're in Nigeria, we're still a work in progress, and we're hoping for better days ahead. Okay, so we pray that today we're going to have a great network all through the session. Apparently, we have a great start. So it's the Life Ignite show, and it's a moment with high flyers. We bring on the show amazing people from different feats who are doing great things, and they come to share with us how they are able to accomplish these things. I'm of the opinion that it's impressive, to be told that some things are possible. And when you become aware of some other people that are making these things possible, it's even very, very inspiring. But most inspiration is actually hearing from these people how they made it happen. When you realize that the failures that they face is very peculiar to, or very similar to the ones you face, there's a way, it has a way of inspiring you too. So the whole aim of the Life Ignite show is to transmit inspirations from those who have abundance of it to some other persons who need it every now and then. We all need inspiration every now and then in our pursuits, irrespective of what we're doing. So today I have on the show a very, very amazing personality, a lady that I admire so much. I've known her for so many years now. She's done great and amazing things beyond the scope of her academics and her, what's expected from what she studied in school. She's a medical person, but she's so much into the tech right now, technology and digital space right now. She's going to be sharing with us how she was able to make this very, very impressive transition, and beyond that, she's got a lot to share that will certainly bless anyone who is fortunate to stumble across this video, this session now or subsequently. So thank you so much. I welcome you again on the show, Excellence. It's good to have you around. Thank you so much for honoring this. I do appreciate you.
It's you now, so I have to honor.
Thank you so much. I'm honored by that. Thank you so much. So, I would love to. I know you quite well, but every other person would love to know you and would love to hear from the horse's mouth. Can you just give us a brief, introduction about yourself before we, set out into the session?
Okay. Hi, Ajayi. Hi, Maureen, and everyone coming on. It's so good to have you guys today again, and I pray the network is good. So my name is Excellence Joshua. I'm an online media consultant, a techpreneur, and I'm also into telemedicine. I do some work in the telemedicine space. I have a background in biomedical sciences, but currently I'm using technology to revolutionize spaces in the women's sector, in the health sector, and also in terms of empowering women. So basically, at Techie Trade, we help women make more money leveraging digital skills, and then at Excellence Advisory, generally, we help MSMEs make more money, achieve their goals leveraging the online media. So that's just a summary of who I am and what I do. I'm a mom, and I'm one young girl somewhere that has been greatly helped by God.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you very much for that very brief introduction. Trust me, I'm going to dig out some other things everyone needs to know about it. Many other things. I know we can't exhaust everything today within just 30 minutes or thereabout, but I'm going to try my best to dig out many things that the audience could find very helpful. So, yeah, I knew you, back in UI, it's been many years ago now. Subsequently, I've seen you online. I've seen a lot of people talk about you. Many people who had been, impacted by your programs, they've talked about you. So, after so many years, we've not met. That's one of the reasons I'm excited to be with you on the show today. And so I need you to be in the biomedical science, medical lab science specifically. And then subsequently, after we left school, most of the things I hear about you are how you use tech to solve people's problems. And I never really knew you to be so much of a techie person then. I didn't see you do any of these techie things. So can you just share with us how you were able to transition? If it's a transition, but it appears to me like it's not like a total transition that involves you leaving medicine altogether. No, it appears you say you are into telemedicine. So how were you able to venture into tech, not having a tech background from an academic standpoint? Now, how were you able to start? How did it begin? And how did you venture into it? Can you share with us?
So when people ask me this, I don't know where to start. I'm like, Oh my God, the story is long. And we have less than 30 minutes. So I'll try to be as concise. I don't know how to shrink the story, but I'll try to be as concise as I can. Now, a lot of people ask me this, and it's true because I wasn't really techie. In fact, a friend had to ask me, you mean you're really not going to do bench work? I'm like, no, I don't think so. So basically, my marriage crashed at a very, 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 very certain point that it brought me low. When I say low, let's not say level 0, let's say level minus something. It was really bad. And so I had to relocate from where I used to be. I was into some fashion business at that time. But when I relocated, I didn't leave with anything. I left with just my certificate in my bag and my son, and took the next available flight to Abuja. Now, the funny thing was, I came back, I was pained. I came back to my parents. I was pained, I was bitter, and I could not command anything. So my thriving braided wig business at that time, it was actually thriving, it was at a good place, somehow began to sink and eventually disappeared. So there were no orders, and then suddenly my store was shut down. So I was here, I was home, I was trying to look for a place for internship. I could not get one. I was trying to look for this. It was like every door was kind of shut. The only thing I was hearing from my ear was that, in Nigeria, being a divorced person, especially as a woman, society is not kind to you. You are at a disadvantage. You might just need to be Iyawo Kekere, for those that understand Yoruba, to somebody, or stuff like that. And that wasn't what I wanted for myself. I wanted more. And I kept asking myself, is it that there are no options? Is it that this was it for me? What am I going to do? Now, my marriage had affected me so much that I graduated with a tutu. Now, to so many people, a tutu might mean so much, but to me, it meant nothing because I knew I could do a lot better. So it was just, for me, it was trash. I just felt there's nothing I can do with this. I can't even apply. Now, for somebody like me that was on scholarships to now with a degree that I believed or I felt I could not apply for scholarships. So some people told me, okay, if you even had some leadership role experience, some volunteering experience, you can get it. I had some, but they weren't enough. I'd had that 3 years break, marriage break, that there were so many results that I really did not have. And I didn't know how I was going to do it. And so I was here, some offers that were coming, it wasn't working for me because I didn't have who was going to mind my son. I could not pay help. I could not really pay school fees. So where was I going to keep him? I didn't want to do a job that was going to put me on call duty. My son was just about 2 at that time. I was scared. I was tired. I didn't know what to do. And so eventually somebody reached out to me and said, would you mind being a virtual assistant to me? I'll pay you XX amount. It was quite low, but it was a virtual assistant job. So I'm like, okay, I'll try. I don't mind. And so it was more paperwork. So I was very good with admin stuff. So she would send me stuff. So, okay, modify this, put this into structure. So I was doing that. And I remember and she was paying me actually 20,000 naira per month at that time. So I come in like 3 times a week. Yes, after school. I'll come in like 3 times a week, and then the other days I work online. So I remember that day I was just home scrolling to my phone, my 1 gig RAM phone, and then I saw Tunli adverts, and they were like, you can use drag and drop tools to create animations, and I'm like, seriously? Yes. Now it struck me because my son, I'm not an animations person, I'm not a cartoon person, but my son was so into cartoons. When I mean so into cartoons, that was the only language he understood. I was there dealing with my heart, I was there dealing with my anger. But it wasn't just me that was broken. My son was also broken. He was so reserved. I saw a son that did not have emotions. I was like, this is not what I want. But I really did not know how to penetrate to him. I didn't even know how to be a parent, a single parent. I was just 25, or I just turned on 25. I never imagined it in my life. I didn't grow up in a single parent home. I didn't even know how to do anything. And my child is a boy. How will I raise a male child? Everything was just in my head. I was like, this is not what I wanted. Before I got married, before I had kids, I always had the scripture in my mind that God said that he blessed Abraham and chose Abraham because he knew that Abraham was going to teach his children. Like, it was key to God, that it's very key to God that the next generation, whatever we're passing across, that the word is fast. And here I was, I didn't even know how to do it. How was I going to do all of those things? And I was seeing my son, when I got to school, they would say, when people beat him or push him, he was so timid. Like, he was a timid child. So I saw it and I said, if he's watching cartoon like this and you turn it off, he would just scream the whole house down. I said, what am I going to do? So I saw those cartoons, and the first thing that came to my head was like, I can do cartoons for him now. After all, what am I doing? I'm just home. Okay. Now, the funny thing was that this software, the basic plan cost about $67, which was a little bit over 20,000. Now my salary was 20,000. So I reached out. I think I did something else for her, and that sometimes she gives me these tips, and I saved it up and I got the software. I could not get the enterprise edition. I got the basic plan, and I sat down and started trying to figure this thing out. Almost, it wasn't easy. But one night, I said I wasn't going to sleep. The funny thing was that I was borrowing my mom's laptop, so she can just come and say, I want to use it. And my phone was a 1 gig RAM, so it could not even take softwares. I said, God, I must learn this thing. I remember one night, the day I got it, it shifted my mind. It gave me a shift that it changed me forever. It made me believe that I can do anything. Like, I sat down for over 5 hours, no eating. I think if you're talking to me, I'm just I was just like, no, I must figure this thing. Now, because my phone had a lower iOS that was not compatible with the software, I said I must figure this thing out. I checked everywhere, checked Google, checked everywhere that I must get this thing right. And my goodness, immediately I got it. I said, no, this is it. This is it. This is it. Nothing is impossible. I got this. I can do this. I was so excited, and I began to create. I was so excited. Now, when I created the first one, maybe less than 2 minutes, I gave my son. He loved it. He moved his eyes away from the TV and was watching it on my phone. I said, well, do you like it? He said, yes. And when he finishes, he plays it again. By the third time, he found it interesting. So the next one I did was why it's important to greet. Why you should greet. Because if you meet my son, he will just be looking at you like this. He won't say a word to you. Greet now. He won't say anything. So I taught how to greet. And the next day, my son came back from school and he was excited. And he was looking for my phone to play. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, this is good. And so I was so excited about it. And I think I shared it on my WhatsApp status. And there was this lady, she had been following me. And for me, everybody I met that time, I would just be crying to you. It's like my life has ended. I don't know what to do again. I'm tired, And she was like, oh, this is really interesting. I have a brother in Nigeria. I'm always sending him money. She's in Italy. I'm always sending him money. And I think if I empower him with this skill, I won't have to be sending him money anymore. That this is really nice. So do you know that businesses can use it to do adverts? I said, me, I don't know. Me, I didn't even know anything about business per se. I said, me, I'm just interested in the fact that it's helping my son. And I feel many parents can leverage it. because I created the ones for how to greet. I created the ones teaching him about honor. I got this book called The Making of a Man. There were characteristics or
sorry, what's the title of the book again?
Traits.
The title of the book.
The Making of a Man.
The Making of a Man. Okay.
Yes. So it's a book that's written to parents that can help you raise your male children. So it was quite nice, and then they had traits on courage, on so many traits, and it will teach you how
that would forever change her trajectory in life. Okay, so you're back with us. I was trying to buttress, so you said that just continue from
where did you get it? What point did you I don't know where I got that.
You're talking about the fact that you got a book, The Making of a Man, and this book can help many parents. And,
okay, yeah. So I began to take lessons each chapter. So for the chapter will inspire me on the kind of story or the cartoon I'll create. And then I was using my voice to animate, and then I would share, and everybody was, I was like, we can use this to conserve our values. So I can create so many cartoons and he will just be watching me, I'll be doing my thing, he won't even disturb me. And the fact that I created them so I can censor what he's watching, what he's listening to, it made a whole lot, like, I felt like a breakthrough. I was so excited about it. So, I said, oh wow, okay, ma, I'm going to do this. And I told her about it. And then shortly after, people were requesting, I want to learn this. I'm like, okay, WhatsApp class. That was a Tuesday. WhatsApp class. I'll teach you guys how to do it. I think one ridiculous amount like that, I put like that. 20-something people registered in 2 days. We started the class. While we were doing the class, more people were signifying interest. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now, that week, these people, as AGS was doing a master class, and they said they had to, I really wanted to go for the master class, but I could not afford it. It was 30K. So that night, I was like, a night to the master class, I was just like, oh God, I wish. Can you believe that at about 12 a.m., she just posted that somebody paid for 2 slots for people that Med Plus, Med Health, I've forgotten their name now, that they paid for 2 slots for 2 people, that who is awake, fastest finger, so right where you want, and they'll select 2 people.
Interesting.
I said, that night immediately, I just type. Immediately I typed it. Wow. I was waiting for the response. I stood up, I ironed my clothes, I dropped them my shoe. I said, I'm going for this thing. I stood up from my bed. I was looking at the mirror. I'm attending this masterclass. The masterclass title was Positioning Yourself for Global Opportunities. I said, I'm going global. I'm attending this masterclass. I'm going for this masterclass. I'm going to go. That's what I was saying to myself. So I don't know how I fell asleep at about 2 a.m. I was waiting for the response. People were responding. I saw good responses. I said, hey, God, oh, hey. So I don't know how I slept up. At about 4:30 a.m., I just woke up. The first time I picked my phone to check, and they just said, you've been selected. Hey, I jumped. I said, oh my God, I've been selected. I was so excited. And guess what? Wow. I was the first person to get there that day. It was in Scorpio. I was just, of course, you have to show up now. You have to show up for yourself. Now, the funny thing was that I've been following them. So I heard that the one they did in Lagos, there was a pitch competition, and the person that won, they gave a gift. So I said, most likely there might be a pitch competition in this one. There may be something. Let me go early. Let me go prepared. So throughout, because I'm staying in the outskirts of Abuja, my parents stay in the outskirts. I went down on my way. I was reading and I was checking it, and I was saying, this thing, if there's a prize, I will get it. I was that intentional in my head. When I got there, I was the first person. I was like, hey, is he holding? They said yes. They welcomed me. How are you? What do you do? I said, I sell wigs, but I can do animations, you know. So when she finished teaching, she just said, "Oh, that now I want to practice what we've taught. Can you pitch? So we'll just volunteer yourself. Can you volunteer? You know, in that kind of thing now. Imagine an event where they paid access fees like 30K. Everybody's doing tush, 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 tush. Me, I'd already signaled that this thing there might be prize in this thing. No, I didn't even wait to volunteer. I just said, I will try. So as I stood up now, they were like, more people. Before some people silently now also stood up. So we got to the front. I think I was the first person to pitch. In my head, when I stood there, I was thinking, should I pitch braided wig or should I pitch this animation idea? For me, I felt this is revolutionary. Like, we can change the way people learn in Nigeria. It is engaging. It is all-encompassing. I'm here and I can know what my son is doing. And the funny thing is that when he's grown, his younger ones can still listen to the same material. Like, I felt this is powerful. Parents should use this to... everybody's complaining, I'm busy. I can't teach my child language. I can't teach my child this. I can't teach my child that. Like, you can use this. Schools, most... NGOs and big brands, they build schools in communities, but you can't take very qualified teachers there because you can't pay them and they don't even want to stay in the remote areas. You know, how much will you pay them to stay in the remote areas? But they can animate what is in their head and you can take it to those kids there and those kids can watch it and learn while you build this precept upon precept and they can answer questions. So I was so passionate about this. Fortunately, I didn't even know COVID-19 will come and we'll have to do remote learning. I was like, animations can change the way we learn. It can give us content. You don't have to be there. So I said, no, this is the idea I'm going to pitch. So when they called me, when you're talking from passion now, I was just, and then they were like, oh, wow. So me, I didn't have a business. I didn't have anything. My own is just that I think this idea is good. They now said, okay, let's vote. And on the highest unanimous vote, I won. And they said, I came first. I said, oh my God.
Wow, that's great.
So I was happy, but it kind of validated my idea. Like, okay, what you're doing, this makes sense. Everybody understands this. Now, the beautiful thing about it was after they said there's a prize money. So they said whoever won the pitch was going to get back the amount that was paid as access fee for the event. Okay. Me, I came to the event by scholarship. So I got money as I was going.
Oh, glory to God. So you were paid for attending.
Yes, I was paid for attending. Now, I wasn't just paid that money. Beyond that, I met amazing people. A brand signed up there for me to do animations for their brand for the next 3 months. Wow. For their content. Wow. I met my lifelong friend now and sister Tabitha in that event. I met 3 other people. Like, I got deals and people wanted to sign up for the course. And so I said, okay, this is making sense. The first thing I did was to pay. The first thing I did was to buy a fairly used phone, 3 gig RAM. It was a Journey phone, I think A11 Lite. I quickly bought it. I checked on Gigi. I got the phone because I needed a better phone. Then it cost about maybe 18,000 or something. Then I went to register. Then they were still doing registration, 5,000 naira. I'd be 10,000, less than that. 5,000, then you pay the other things. I immediately went to register my name as Animations with Excellence. And I began to do trainings every week. Now, the beautiful thing was that I would just use simple posts. Then a lot of people were quite interested in what I was doing. And they said, okay, share your flyer. Let us share for you. People need to hear this. And so I will use Canva and they'll be like, this is not professional enough. Now, what you're doing is so good. You can increase your price. You can do more. You can add more value, You need to put some branding to it. So I remember when he first said she wanted to talk about me on her platform. And she said, send me. I sent her my logo. She said, what is this? This one, no. Anyway, I'll revamp it to something for you. I'll manage it too. But you need to do better. There's more to you. You can do better. So I said, okay. And I asked for logo. They said to do logo, 10,000, 15,000. I said, And I realized that many people were on social media, and people are reaching out to me on social media. And I have to do, I said, I went to go and learn graphic design. I have to do graphic design. So that I can be saving the money. That was I learned. So, then I learned. And I also that, I have to be online, and I have to be intentional because I cannot be dancing on social media. So how will I get customers? There must be something. I told myself that if Genevieve is selling this kind of thing I'm selling, we should be dancing on social media. it really, there are people that are making it and they don't have to be, or me, I'm not like that. I'm an introvert. So there has to be a way for me to also be positioned on social media. So I began to research. I began to take courses on how to use social media, how to use it right. Because I'm not a perfectionist, but I'm a structured person. So I began to do that. So like that, I learned that one. I became fascinated beyond whiteboard videos, explainer videos. I wanted more. Now I had graphics, now I had social media, but I wanted more, So when I won the AGS Survivor Woman Award, I think 3 months later, I registered for Code Academy. That one is not a story for another day. That was the first time I visibly shared my story. I got $1,000. I registered for Code Academy. I got a better laptop. That money, I did not even buy one clothes for myself. Like everything went to learning and, preparing myself. And so I told myself that I wanted to be a full stack web developer, maybe majoring in front end. And I remember when I had a one-on-one with her, she was like, web is fine, but have you thought about data science or robotics? That look at the future, it's tending towards that area. I said, and she said, yes. She said she would refer me to someone that could counsel me because I didn't have any tech mentor. There was nobody that was pointing my hand to anything. Everything I was doing was basically, I was self-motivated, and generally that's how it started. Then I almost at that time I got a job. Yes, I missed that. Almost at that time, in fact, that same month when I got the AGS stuff, I got a job. I resumed the National Assembly Clinic for my internship. The beautiful thing about there was that it gave me flexibility to do what I was doing. I think I got that grant in June. In July, I resumed the NAS. In August, I applied for the Access Bank Entrepreneur Pitching with that same idea. That August, I got my registration by the end of the month. In September, I got qualified for one of the 50 finalists for the Access Bank Entrepreneur Pitching, and they gave us a scholarship to do the IFC, the mini MBA with the World Bank Group IFC. We said that in that September. I traveled to Lagos. We finished in November. It was like a 3-month program, and then by December, I was more in Abuja. And then I think I got another grant. What was that grant? If I can't remember. Then in January, a lot of people, one thing I think people said about my teaching was how simplified my teachings were. I love to teach. From secondary school, I always loved to teach. But I really underestimated that learning was simple. For me, just learning has to be simple. Simplify learning. It's not that hard now. Just make it easy for anyone to understand. So by February, someone reached out to me and she's like, what do you do? And I told her, she said, can you teach? Okay, COVID was beginning to happen. And then I think March, April, it became quite intense and it became necessary for people to take their businesses online. And she's like, we have a community. Will you mind teaching them how to move their businesses online? The basic tech things, we can go into partnership and all. Funny enough, it was a large community. And I did that for them. They wanted more, but the contract I had with them was not as much as they wanted. So they were like, okay, you can offer your services, but a discounted rate for those people. And that's how I moved from solely animations. And then the animations turned more into leveraging it for business. And then we moved into social media and then digital marketing. It became a serious thing. Now, the funny thing was that excellence cannot be everywhere. A lot of people wanted to learn to apply to their businesses, but they didn't have the time. Or some would say, I'm producing, I'm here, I'm there. Can't you get somebody like you that can just, since you can't do it for me or you can't do it for so many brands? And they were asking me, can't you get someone like you that can manage it? And I also had people that were saying, how are you doing it? I lost my job. They cut my salary. COVID-19. I'm at home. There are just so many of those things. And I'm like, hey, these people need you. You need these people. You just need to upskill yourself. So I decided that I wanted to duplicate myself. I can't work for everybody. So let me duplicate myself. And that's when I began to really train on. By then, for animation, I trained so many. I'd even lost count at that time. I began to train on social media specifically. And that year, I think shortly after, just early COVID, we won the Erelu BC grant. And then we won another grant again. And then we got finalists to the Youth Innovation Challenge. Then You know, just that my small idea from my bird, you know. And then we got the mentoring her, and then there were quite a number of grants and awards. Some were cash, some were mentoring support, you know, PR, some all those things. And one thing I loved about it were the trainings. The money was good, but the trainings were more important. So I realized that, babe, you're doing more than animations, so your name is animation director, it is limited. I realized that it wasn't just about the tech skills. What excited me the most was seeing women change, seeing women have money of their own. I went from that helpless woman that could not pay school fees for her son, being able to pay school fees ahead for her son, you know, and being able to, you know, some reviews will come from women and I will literally shed tears. Is this me? Like I said, we said in 2019, this is 2021. God has been so good. When I started, I didn't have the mind to actually restrict it to only women or anything. But I remember sometime last year, the Holy Spirit said, what, not before then, he had told me some things about what I went through. And he said, what you went through is really not about you. You think it's about you? It's not about you. Stop losing focus. Stop transmitting your pain. Transform it. That's what he told me before things began to change. And he'll tell me that if you like, don't pass this exam, you repeat this class. Pay attention to what I'm teaching you. It's for my daughters. It's beyond you. I kept hearing it so loud. The Spirit told me, it's beyond you. It's beyond you. You know, until when I accepted that it's beyond me, and it's not because I did anything bad or I'm that terrible that anything happened, but what he wanted me to identify with his daughters, so that if he was going to use me in that space, it was going to be quite easy. So he said, go help my women, you know, and all of those kind of things. So we had to reposition, and we said we're helping women get leverage through technology. So for us, it wasn't just about the skills, because we realized that we teach them and then they go, because of how overwhelmed they are from family pressures, they're not able to monetize what they're using, or some of them do not even finish the training, you know, and they come back again and they really need help, genuinely. So we said, no, we're going to focus on intellect, money, and then welfare. So if their mind is in the right place, if they understand their why, they'll be able to have staying power to stay true, to finish the course, and then become who they're supposed to be. Because so it's really not about, it's about becoming. Because even if you give them the skills for free, they will not finish it. They will not take it. They will not apply it. So we wanted a community where we offer the all-encompassing stuff, intellect, and then when we train them, because people trust my judgments, I'm now able to refer them for jobs, and they're able to pick up from there. So everyone was telling me, this your target market is too slim. Men were like, we want to attend, though, we're interested. So I opened it up to men, but I'm sorry, April 1st, new quarter, the Holy Spirit is calling me back. Don't forget your why. Don't forget where. So if you're a man, you want to come on board, it's fine. But we are going to be promoting more of helping women and leveraging digital skills. You know, so that's basically how far we've come. But one thing we realized, I was using learning management. Then when I was learning, my courses, people were sharing my distance. I said, I started learning how to use learning management system. Now I started with Thinkific. I didn't like Teachable. Thinkific was not flexible. I still have to manually enroll people and all of that. I got other platforms, and one thing that was a challenge was we were beginning to have international students. We had students from Ghana, from the US, from UK. Amazing. It was quite shocking, people that were joining us, because I'm like, I even had nurses in the US. I thought they said nurses in the US used to make millions. What are you people doing in my course? You know, so it felt weird. But I realized that it was really about, they wanted more for themselves, you know, they wanted flexibility. So I'm like, okay, fine, let's get to do this. And the issue was receiving payment was a problem. So I became determined that I wanted to register my business outside Nigeria. I just knew that this is going global. This is not just for Nigeria. This is for Africa. And one thing that was broad on my chest was I wanted to build a sustainable business. It was key for me. It was everywhere on my vision board. I want a sustainable business. I want a business that can go beyond me. I want a business that will not just make profit, but that would make impact and then leave a legacy. And I'm excited to say that we are currently registered. in the United States of America. And we went from registering Admissions with Excellence as a business name to we have Excellence Advisory as a limited liability company, where we offer agency and techie train for the traces, techie technology train, which is where we offer the training. And techie train is trademarked in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So it went from just me to we have like 5 staff currently, and we have we have 3 full-time, and we have some other we have 2 semi-full-time, maybe like 70% of their time, and then we have others that are on contract basis based on the job that is available. And that's our story.
Glory to God. Glory to God. You have said a whole lot.
I said everything.
I have some structured questions I intend asking you. And sincerely, your story just seemed to capture almost all of the questions I intend to ask you, beforehand. You have said a lot. I can remember years back, the first time I met Excellence, that should be back somewhere in pharmacy school, and then just a short while after, I told her, Excellence is not just a name for this lady. It's not just a name. It's not just a name. That's just whom she is. That's whom you are. I used to tell her that, it's such a, it's palpable. It's palpable.
Yeah.
And I have a lot to say. This is a video. I'm having an idea right now. In case you are just joining this show, make sure you watch this video all over again. There's a lot to exhaust in this video. I've been around since the beginning of the show, and I'm still going to watch this video all over again because there is just a lot to learn from her story. Sincerely speaking, there's a lot to learn from this story. Talk about parenting, talk about turning your pain, transforming your pains into testimonies. Talk about in the course of trying to survive and trying to be a great parent, she found business and it later transitioned into purpose, something bigger than she ever did imagine. I remember one of the things Mark Zuckerberg once said when he said, it's never clear when you start, but over time it gets clearer. And right now it's got clearer and bigger, and then what you never would imagine, it turned out to be. And that's quite impressive, and that's so amazing. There is a lot to exhaust in this, and I intend, God helping me, I think I'm going to just have to go over this video and dissect, not just to myself, but take a time to analyze so that people don't get carried away by the story and not pick out the lessons. I'm going to try to highlight the different lessons in her story. There are just a lot of, it's a book she just downloaded to us, a very big book. Sincerely speaking, a very big book, and if I'm to expound every component of what she shared with us, I tell you, I could write at least 5 books from what she just said, but I think I'm just going to take out some time to do that for the sake of some other persons who might stumble across this, to analyze and then, squeeze out some specific lessons that people can get from this, what you've just shared with us. Thank you so much. You have shared a lot. And there's a lot more I believe you have to share. Certainly you have to come back to me some other time.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like it's been when I look, I was having the interview with the Nation newspaper, and he said, how are you able to come this far or achieve this much in such a short time, and how are you able to have grown this much at your age? And it never occurred to me, and I'm like, okay, it's true. How did it even come? How did I even get here? In less than 2 years, see what God have done. I was literally broken. When I'm currently running an executive program with EDC, and they said, what kind of entrepreneur? I said, it's just accidental. Like, there was just a gap. And for me, first it was just passion. I just wanted to reach my son. I just wanted to connect with him, and then business started. But more than it became bigger, it became clearer when I was just able to identify the gap. So I'm like, okay, this is it. And I was able to deploy myself to learning. So don't be deceived, don't be carried away. In all of this, I have learned. I have invested in self-development. For a whole year, I didn't buy one dress for myself. I didn't buy any shoe. My dad did not understand the logic. How can you get money and we're not seeing the money? I was putting back in my brain. I still do, don't be mistaken. I told him that if I do not develop myself as much as I do, I'll soon become irrelevant. The question I have to ask myself all the time is, Excellence, what you're doing today in the next 10 years, will it make you relevant to your generation? Will you still be relevant with what you're doing today? What you're learning today? What you're giving yourself into today? 5 years, 10 years, will you still be relevant? You think 5 years, 10 years is too far. 5 years, 10 years, I'm not even 40 yet. And then we begin to search for significance. So I told myself that I don't want to do bench work. Bench work, I'm going to be tired, I'm going to be bored. And I told my dad, I said, Daddy, technology is the future. Technology is going to give me a level playing ground. Nobody is going to ask me, where's your certificate? Everybody is going to ask me, what's your portfolio? How many sites have you built? Send me the links, the URLs, so I can see them. And if you're good, you're good. Once you're good, you're looking for value. If you're good, you're not looking for how you look. Nobody is asking if you're Igbo, Yoruba, or anything you are. Nobody is asking if you're a woman or a man. Nobody is asking if you're wearing bomb shot or anything. What they want is results globally. And once you have results, you command the market. Once you have results, you set your price. Technology is the leveler. Is the leveler. The beautiful thing is your skills. I tried to do business again before I even started. I borrowed money, almost at debt I enter. People were not buying. It's not as simple as it looks. And me, I will not dance on Instagram. So I wasn't making sales. It was that terrible. And I didn't know how to beg people. Eventually, you want to sell it as a cost price. Even at the cost, people were not buying. But with your skills, what you're expelling time. And then you're expelling in devoting yourself to knowledge. So I took a lot of programs, some free on YouTube, some on Google, some on HubSpot, I took some paid courses too, Udemy, Coursera. I'm currently taking a course with the International American Career College, social media consultant, so that we are certified in the US to be I'm certified in the US to be a social media consultant. Those things are not cheap, but I do them because I need to grow. Every day I read, I keep learning. People are like, how do you know all this is? You have to keep growing. Bishop Edapa would say, only a fool without proofs. So I'm like, this technology, I will hold it. It's going to keep me on a level playing ground. It's going to take me whatever, like everywhere. Imagine me I sit on some boards of free telemedicine organizations. Now, for one, there's a software engineer, there are doctors. For another one, there's a data analyst, there's a doctor, there's a developer too, and all of that. What is unique about these places that I sit in? What makes me unique? What makes me different? I don't just have a background in medicine. I have a background in tech. And then I have a background in business. I know how to make your money work for you.
I will take our time to say, God bless your son. God bless your son. God bless Dunamis.
Amen.
There are parents who help their children find purpose. It's not like your child helped you discover purpose.
Yes, he did. He did.
Apparently, it tells a lot about whom he's going to turn out to be. He has reached out to thousands even before he could realize who he is. Even before he could be, he could recognize what it means to even, what life means. He has been affecting millions even through you. That's like I said, there are just so many things to, squeeze out of what you tell us. Squeeze out of what you tell us. We intended to spend just 30 minutes. We are running into an hour already, and it feels like such a very short time, and it just feels like we shouldn't just end this show. We're just going to take some more minutes and it's supposed to be an hour show. It was actually mainly because of you and because of people who might be time sensitive to the length of.
I hope you guys are actually getting value for your time.
I tell you,
I don't like saying story for story's sake. That's why when people ask me, I'm very reluctant to do interviews. I'm like, if you're not going to be changed or something.
If you're on the show, just let's see your comments so we can know that you're following this and you are getting blessed by this show. Just let's have your comments so we can be aware that you've been blessed out there. Okay?
Yeah.
So, really, there is so much to learn. There is so much to talk about. There's so much to expound in all that you've said. And certainly, I'm telling you this beforehand, you need to come back again some other time. You need to come back again some other time. There are some other things you need to discuss.
I'm running away from the media.
People face depressions. And I know, I think I watched one of your interview with Arise TV some months or years back, where you were interviewed on how you're able to overcome depression. And depression is real. Now, there are so many problems in the world, and people face depressions, and people are looking for how to just navigate through this space. And like I always believe, challenges have, they don't have permanent lasting power if you have the right mindset. You hit long enough, with God's grace, you're going to hit through. And we have seen how God has been so helpful. And we see the role played by God, His inspiration, His divine leadings, how it was able to, give you some specific instructions on what to do per time. There are just, like I said, there are just so many things to squeeze out from what you said, even beyond what you thought you said, sincerely speaking, beyond what you thought you said. And if you are just joining this show, make sure you watch this video all over again. It's going to be available on Telegram here, and if not here, it's going to be on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to make the link available so you can watch this show all over again. It's a lesson in parenting, a lesson in transforming your pains to testimonies, a lesson in discovery of purpose, a lesson in persistence, a lesson in preparation, being prepared. Abraham Lincoln said, I will prepare today and someday my chance will come. You see how she, by the reason of the preparations, different platforms just opened up, and then she was just prepared. She was just right for the moment.
Yeah, you have to be ready. You have to be ready. I was telling my staff today that you have to be ready before the opportunity arises. You have to be ready. You have to prepare yourself. You have to give yourself to learning. It's a non-negotiable factor. We see a lot of people today. There's all talk, and you can be quite encumbered with so many things. Life matters. You cannot afford not to learn. You have to keep learning. You have to give yourself to knowledge. It is key. It is key. You just don't know where the opportunity will arise from. But just be ready. Just be all around every day. Everybody can say anything. But I was telling them, I said, when people see me, you think if I'm on social media, and I'm very introverted though. If you see me on social media, it's very intentional. Trust me. It's very intentional. And my why is stronger than my being introverted to actually be there. So you have to have a why. It has to be strong enough. Like it has to pull you. DDK will call it a compelling vision. If it's not compelling enough, you're not ready.
Take notes, mentorship, DDK. Take notes of that. So thank you so much, Excellence. Thank you so much.
Thank
you so much. I would love us to continue on and on. And please try to go all over this video again. And she has a lot of courses in her company. You can check out her Instagram page. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to leave a link to her pages or her website where you can access a lot of the courses she offers. Beyond just animation, beyond many of the things she's mentioned so far, it has expanded to way more than that. Social media management, as simple as it is, you go to Facebook and you just chat away your time, or you chat. You think it's as simple. People make money on social media. People make money through many simple things that you patronize. Somebody said one thing. He said, if you are not, he said, if you are not making the product, you are probably the product. He said,
yeah.
And if you are not producing the thing, you are probably consuming the product yourself. So somehow when you patronize social media, when you patronize every single of these platforms, some people are making money off you. And it's not unfair. It's not unfair, but you need to also learn to, beyond just whiling away time, beyond just, being just a giver, or more like beyond just whiling away time, so to speak. You need to look for how to also tap into the values in the tech age, in the social media, and in different space in the digital space. Okay? Yeah. You need to learn all of this, and she has a lot of courses in her company that you can leverage upon. So you want to check out her page, and then you should be able to reach out to them through their, their contacts there, and they'll put you through on the things you need to do and how to leverage on the tech age. They have a lot there. I think I might just consider even enrolling for one of the courses because I'm seen some of the ones that might be
I
helpful to
have
my
to do what to
business.
do. I have to do what to do. You're doing crypto. You're a pharmacist.
How many
You're
are you doing?
please.
You do a lot. I want to be like you. So it's been such a blessing. Thank you so much for being around tonight. Thank you so much. I
Thanks
really
for having
appreciate
me.
all that you've said. I got blessed. I got blessed sincerely. And if I could be this blessed, if I could feel this blessed, I can imagine how the audience members, I mean, everyone who is being right now, I have an idea how they might be feeling right now. It's such a very blessed one. I'm going to market this video. I'm going to do, market it as much as I can. It needs to reach out to so many people. Sincerely, it needs to reach out to people, parenting, priorities. There's just a lot. There's a lot, sincerely. There's a lot. I'm not flattering you, and there's no intention to flatter you. I'm just telling you right now. So thank you so much. It's the Life Ignite show, and then we bring high flyers like her to the show every now and then. They share their stories in an inspiring way, and our aim is to transmit inspiration from people who have an abundance of it, and to people who need inspiration. We all need inspiration at different points in order to steer us up for the days ahead. She talked about how she was able to draw inspiration from books in making her animation. Inspiration is just a currency that you don't want to have a lack of. So we bring people on the show that transmit inspiration to some other persons, and then she's been a very major source of inspiration tonight. Thank you so much. Do ensure to be kept abreast by following me. If you have not followed me on Instagram, do ensure to be kept abreast of the upcoming programs. We're going to bring some other persons on the show, so you don't want to miss out. Keep your ears on the ground, and do have a very wonderful time. Thank you so much for everyone who has been around on the show today. We appreciate you. Thank you for giving your time to learn, and do ensure to take the lessons and impact some other persons. Have a very wonderful time. So I'm going to just let Excellence go right now. Okay, and then while we round up the show. Okay, somebody is already requesting for the link to your page. Yeah, somebody is requesting.